Click subscribe to get latest news and don't forget to press the bell icon.
For almost 1 year, the left has claimed that the reason President Trump won the election was due to Russian hacking. This theory has been pushed not only by liberal politicians but by the mainstream media and celebrities. This ridiculous claim has even spurred an investigation into President Trump in an effort to oust him from the White House. Despite all of these erroneous claims, nothing has come from the pointless investigations, which never prove that Trump conspired with the Russians. In fact, relations between the United States and Russia are incredibly strained after Vladimir Putin ordered President Trump to dramatically reduce the amount of staff he had working in Russia last July. In retaliation for that move, President Trump, in turn, ordered Russia to close 3 of its consulates last week, including its oldest one in San Francisco. Shortly after the order was given for the Russian consulate in San Francisco to close, people in the area noticed smoke billowing from the building. That had many people wondering what was really going on inside. The relationship between Russia and the United States has been strained and does not seem to be getting any better ever since Russia was accused of meddling in last year's election. Even though no evidence of any wrongdoing has ever been discovered, the left has continued to push this false narrative. Now, the two countries have been engaged in an increasingly heated diplomatic tit-for-tat for a better part of the year. Last month, the Kremlin demanded that the United States trim its diplomatic staff by 755 people. President Trump responded to this demand with a thank you, saying, "I'm very thankful that he let go of a large number of people because now we have a smaller payroll. There's no real reason for them to go back. So I greatly appreciate the fact that we've been able to cut our payroll of the United States. We'll save a lot of money." Then last week, the Trump administration ordered Russia to shutter its consulate in San Francisco, and its offices in New York and Washington, D.C. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov then threatened that there would be a tougher response, and he also suggested that this move would further spoil our relations with the United States. As the consulate in San Francisco began to clear out, people in the area noticed black smoke spotted hovering over the building. Immediately, the San Francisco Fire Department was dispatched to the scene, but they were promptly turned away by the Russians, who stated that they were burning items in the fireplace. Neighbors on the street began to speculate that maybe there was something much more sinister afoot happening in the building. One woman who watched the smoke pour from the Russian consulate building wondered if the Russians were burning top-secret documents. "Maybe they are shredding first and burning what they shred," said one woman standing on the tree-lined sidewalk outside the consulate on Friday afternoon, identifying herself only by her first name, Marion. "I don't care what they do as long as fire doesn't start coming out the windows." According to Sky News, a spokesman for the San Francisco Fire Department, Mindy Talmadge, said the smoke was apparently from a fire in a fireplace inside the building. Firefighters had been sent to investigate, she said. According to an Associated Press reporter at the scene, the firefighters were turned away by consulate officials on arrival. People from inside the building were heard telling them that there was no problem and staff were burning items in a fireplace, the reporter said. Ms. Talmadge was unable to say what was being burned, especially as temperatures in the city were around 35 degrees at the time. "It was not unintentional," she added. "They were burning something in their fireplace." Consul Sergei Petrov was asked about the smoke on Friday but would not comment about that or the closure. In a statement posted on Facebook, the Russian consulate said it had issued more than 16,000 tourist visas to American citizens last year and that the closure would hurt both countries. Russian Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova said U.S. Special Services were going to search the consulate along with apartments used by Russian diplomats and their families. The U.S. State Department would not comment on whether this was true or on the smoke was seen from the consulate. Access to the consulate from Saturday will be only with their permission. After the Russians left the building, American authorities went inside to do a quick walk-through of the area to make everything was in order. These inspections were carried out to secure and protect the facilities and to confirm the Russian government had vacated the premises, said a State Department official who did not want to be named. Obviously, it makes sense that American officials would do a walkthrough to ensure that nothing was left or possibly bugged. At this point, we are not exactly on the best terms with Russia, so it only makes sense that government officials would make sure everything was left in proper order. It appears that we will never know what the Russians were burning in that building, but we can guess it was documents that they did not want us to see, though in a world of political espionage appearances can always be deceiving.